Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallah for everyone that's attended, that's behind cameras, on camera, our tech team at the back, Maulana Thaqib. We have fans sat at the back, yeah. What do they call it in America? The cheerleaders, yeah. We've got a cheerleader at the back.
MashaAllah.
He's more like, you know, the way we say cheerleader.
Acha, cheer. Yeah,
he's a cheerleader.
Yeah, he does cheer. Yeah. He doesn't have a mic today, but inshallah, I'm offering.
He's a cheerleader at the back. Okay. So
and especially the viewers.
Especially viewers.
Without you,
thank you for everybody
no use
for joining.
Here.
Okay. Start things off whilst I send the message out to everyone, inshallah.
From next week, inshallah, we'll be sending it about a day or two before.
Yes, we will do so as well.
Inshallah.
And those that can see, the hat's back again. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, he's not converted yet, but the hat's.
No, I'm not converted, but I think we'll make a regular a podcast hat.
Nah, we don't want uniformed Muslims.
No, there's no uniform in this, is it?
You have to follow orders if you're uniformed.
On a pillow here, nicely in the middle. It's a crown.
Yeah, so the crown looks nice when it's on the head, isn't it?
Yes,
it's not on the table.
Yes, yeah. I mean, Hafiz Fahim Sabi, he's always in his uniform. Why does he always wear jubba? I never seen him in some dhoti or salwar kameez or.
Inshallah, maybe for Eid.
Maybe for Eid, mashallah. It surprises.
Possible.
We have rahat today as well.
Yes,
give us some rahat.
Allah.
I was thinking about that name the other day actually for some strange reason.
Okay.
I was trying to find a name which would replace like peace and tranquility and pleasure all in one, and I came up with the rahat.
Well, he's here then.
There you go.
Okay, barakallah. Okay, what we got in mind today? Today we were discussing during the week the subject to be the immediate worldly benefits of practicing Islam.
Yeah.
That's a cheesy name, that.
Yeah. The reason being is because people don't practice Islam because they think, paradise is far off, death is far off. And so, at the moment we can do other things to get ourselves pleasure and success and happiness. And so because this is the pursuit of happiness, we want to give like immediate happiness. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. Have you sent the link?
Yep, it's just coming across now. Barakallah.
Yeah, and I wonder why we're getting low views as well.
Oh, you know that happened by accident.
Was it?
Yeah.
We got low views by accident.
Funnily enough, the response, I've had several messages. At least 20 plus people messaging me back saying, Hafsa, what's this? So then I replied to everybody saying, so that means you do check the message I do send.
Okay, that's fine.
So
that's fine. But we want maximum people coming on. Yeah. About 2 billion would do.
2 million. Billion.
Yeah. Plus the extras.
Okay, right, you got the message. Bismillah.
I'm sending it out now.
What Hafiz, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Actually, by the way, an apology we owe to the public is that we promised that Hamad Bhai would be joining us today and that we will be discussing Islamophobia. So what we did was we replaced Hamad Bhai with Hamad Bhai's Imam.
MashaAllah, that's better, isn't
it? Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay.
With
I
his
hope he's
Imam.
not listening. Okay.
Hafiz Fahim Sahib, he's the Imam of Victoria Park
so
Muslim
Hamad
Central
Saab's
Mosque, Manchester.
His manager and Hafiz Saab's his Imam.
His Imam.
Wow,
who has the upper hand?
Complicated.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. So he apologized. He had a last minute meeting. Okay. And he, inshallah, he's promised, for next week. Inshallah. So a poster has been made. It shall be coming around during the week. And that's official that he will be joining us next week discussing Islamophobia. There have been quite a few cases in the background which the community may not be aware of because it's not hyped on social media yet.
Mm-hmm.
But he's working on a few projects, especially to do with the cartoons. Up and down the country, several schools have now showed images of the Prophet ﷺ, knowingly or unknowingly. Even deputy head teachers have done it as well.
Right.
So, Allahu Alam what's happening. But he's working on a project. Inshallah, he will share some detail with us. And it'll be a good discussion, inshallah. Take it? So, that's for next week.
That's for next week.
Also, I've been asked by several members to discuss the moon sighting and Eid al-Adha and stuff. I think my face says it, or I don't know whether to even touch on that or not.
So are we gonna have a debate?
Whoa.
You ready?
Yeah, like 2 on 2 or something.
I think every Imam had a debate today at Jummah in regards to moon sighting.
Yeah,
I
we
think
did.
every Imam had it.
With the public.
Hafiz Fahim.
I had a few questions. Why are they on Tuesday? Why are they on Wednesday?
Yeah. So basically, I
WhatsApp
think
messages.
every Muslim had some type of debate or some type of question in regards to. Eid
Yeah, I mean, I had a
today.
few as well, and I mean, my explanation to it was that Eid al-Adha has nothing to do with Arafat Day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And secondly, it came to my awareness this week. Hafiz Umair told me through my father that Eid only became wajib in the 8th Hijrah, and the first Hajj that the Muslims performed was in the 9th Hijrah.
Yeah.
If it was anything to do with Arafat Day, how did they do it on the 8th Hijrah then, the year before?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, and secondly, if you look at historically, how Eid announcements were made historically. See, when everything is documented of Islamic heritage, why is this never documented? Of how Eid announcements were made? Of course it is, but nobody discusses it. And the way it worked was that the Qadi al-Qudat, i.e. the Supreme Court judge, for his province, he would make an announcement. So, a similar would be like, for the Northwest, there would be one Qadi. For the Midlands, there would be one. Or let's say for towards London area, towards South, there would be one. And he would make an announcement for his province, for his area.
Wait, is it province or city?
No, city, and it's beyond that.
Okay.
As far as whatever authority he had.
Yeah, villages
But
around. and
I
all.
would say an example is like Northwest, Midlands, the South. They would have their own announcements.
Right.
We know that the Muslim empire spanned from the Middle East all the way to Spain. Can someone ever prove that they ever did Eid on one day? It was ever a demand to be on one day. It never was.
Yeah.
We only take advantage of mass communication and the fact we can get data over so quickly that now it's become the norm. And it's a huge, huge misconception that Eid has to be done on one day. Why does the Ummah unite? It was never meant to be this way. In fact, the famous hadith from Sahih Muslim, Imam Muslim narrates, where the two companions got together and they had dialogue, they exchanged views. When did you celebrate Eid? And they said, one said Wednesday, the other one said Thursday. It was normal. It was normal. It was never meant to be in one day. So
Another issue is that the public, the question they say is, Christmas is always on the 25th of December.
okay.
Right, every year on the same day, okay. Sorry, not same day, same date, okay. So why can't Eid be on the same, like we already know when Eid should be.
It is on the same day, right? 10th of Dhul Hijjah.
It is entirely.
I know.
It is.
But why can't the Muslims do it in one day? So the answer I gave, someone asked me at Jummah was,
You may put your mic a bit down.
okay,
It's a bit loud.
sorry. Okay, within Christianity, there are 3 Christmases celebrated. One is on the 25th, one's on the 3rd of January, and the final one is in September. So to say that there's unity within the Christianity in regards to Isa al-Islam's birth is wrong.
Oh,
Even
fair
they're
enough.
confused.com.
Okay. So that being said, inshallah, over here from our behalf, from Central Mosque Manchester, Eid will be done on Wednesday,
Inshallah.
Wednesday 21st, inshallah. And I think the majority of Muslims in this country will be doing it on the 21st.
Somebody was telling me that the sighting is sunnah, whereas there's 11 ayahs of the Quran which talk about calculation.
No, that talks about general understanding that everything is calculated. In the law, it is calculated.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Allah's understanding. But for us, sumu li ru'yatihi wa aftiru li ru'yatihi. Yeah. Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam clearly mentioned that you only fast and you start the new month once you see it with your eyes.
Wajib.
It's wajib, and it's the closest to sunnah. And at the moment when then the conflict begins whether you go for national sighting or international sighting. The stance we have is, even if it's international sighting, it has to be cited. It can't be a calculation only.
With somebody in authority.
It has to be cited with someone of authority. Yes.
Okay.
See what the other group did this year round was they made an announcement without having cited it at all. It was based off scientific calculation that there's a probability of it being cited.
Yeah.
Based on that probability, no one's gone out to see it, and they made an announcement, and they messed up at all.
One party told me they do the birth of the moon instead of the sighting of the moon.
That's not
because
citing,
of
is it?
calculation.
What is the Sunnah? We're all following Islam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Whenever I
gonna
say-
pray
Yeah.
pray Asr Salah when it's Zuhur time.
Whenever I said Sunnah, he said Faraz, in other words, the Quranic ayah. So, calculation. He said in the past, like, look at the ayah on Hajj, talking about going on animals,
Yeah.
but we take planes. So he said, because we have calculation now, we'd advanced to this level. We have Salah timetables according to calculation.
Well, even in regards to that, you still have to go, right? Can you do a virtual Hajj now?
Yeah, you
still
can't
have
do
to go. There's still a physical element.
Yeah.
So yes, we've got different measurements, methods. Ru'ya is there. You have to have the.
Another thing is hadith from Musnad Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal that he alayhi salatu wasalam said that giving adhan and looking at the moon is from the sha'air of Islam.
Yes.
Now, if you remove that viewing the moon, then that means you are removing one sha'air of Islam, one pillar of the deen. So you have to look for the moon as it is part of the sunnah. However, there's the counter argument is that why can't we just follow Saudi Arabia to remove the conflict? End of. This is the counter argument question. Now this is you could keep this as a podcast today. Why
The answer to that is, look, if we don't have a personal grudge against Saudi Arabia. Yeah, it is the markaz of Islam, Haramain Sharifain. Yeah, where our heart and souls lie. But when announcements of such are being made where there's no sighting at all, it's based on birth, like you said, that the probability of the moon, as long as it's out there, regardless of whether it's sightable or not, scientifically, there are scholars, there are scientific organizations on the ground in Saudi Arabia that oppose this. But because it's a kingdom, their announcement overrules everything.
And
because
the kingdom, the government themselves say this is our official government calendar.
Yeah.
You cite your own sightings.
You cite your own.
Yeah,
Of course.
absolutely. We go there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason why we obviously it's important to talk about this because Eid is coming up and there's been
it's a
loads
hot
of
topic right
videos
now.
going around, even more than the previous years. Ulama have been abused, people coming into the masjid and shouting and stuff like that. We're not going to be doing family with a family Eid because some of us follow one thing, another follow another thing, and all this kind of problems with work, problems with schools giving leave to children as well. So that's why we mentioned it. And the other reason I suppose we kept on going on about it is because I haven't got a clue about what we're going to talk about today. We have the topic, and I gave this topic on purpose because my mind went blank. And as everybody knows who listens,
so you want
to
us
this,
to go blank as well, right now?
well, many people who listen to this podcast in the past, they say, the reason why we like it is a bit different. I said, why? They said it's just ad hoc. You guys just go on about stuff, and we like it. And we, like last week, I think we started off with a downer, but we ended really well. And those people who saw it, Allah gives tawfiq. It was ended quite well, useful stuff. So, okay, today the immediate worldly, not religious, but worldly benefits of following the deen.
Okay, without picking on Rahat for any reason, shall we start with Rahat?
Yeah, I think so. Come closer to the mic.
Because we will probably give the more
The formal adult.
the formal answers.
The
Rahat
Buddha-
is a neutral individual. Inshallah, you'll see him on the scene more often.
Inshallah.
But he's here now.
MashaAllah.
Do you think
Come closer to the mic.
Do you think the immediate effects,
The immediate benefits of practicing Islam.
I think the very fact that Islam is meant to preserve a human being from the get-go by abiding by the Sunnah and the Quran, I think by following, by abiding what Islam says, the immediate effects is the preservation of yourself. So people complain about, oh, I've got this problem, I've got that problem. But why? It's because the only reason why we've strayed and why we've got those problems is because we've not been following the Sunnah in some sort of way. So by us following Islam, to the best of our ability, it allows Islam to preserve Muslim, because people think that Islam is just like, it's a guidebook, and it's not. Islam works naturistic wise. You work towards Islam and Islam work towards you. It's not just immediate, it's long term as well. So that's
Right.
for me, it's more both ways, as just opposed to there's immediate benefits and that
So-
you do.
So what's the immediate preservation that we have? What do you mean by that? Do you mean like the health of the body, or
Everything,
staying away from
you got,
problems, or
from doing the Muslim du'as after each salah to feeding the neighbors, to even looking after random pets, picking up stuff from the floor that's not even yours. All of these things are implemented. People oversee these. They call it little, but it's not in actual sense. It's not little, because it always has a role. I think people, what people fail to realize is that when they see immediate benefits, they think, okay, now I've done something, I expect something to happen to me. They prayed the Hajj for 2 months. Okay, I've been praying the Hajj for 2 months. I want something now. It doesn't work like that. You get immediate benefits, maybe written for you, but doesn't mean that you'll experience them straight away. They maybe come down the line. But I think immediate benefits, like I said, it may be written, you may not experience it. Sometimes you may experience it, and you may reap those.
sometimes you don't know what benefits you're getting. Like, for example, preservation of a sane mind is something really important for all of us. And anybody a Muslim who sins, or a non-Muslim who doesn't follow Islam, I was talking, how many people did I talk to today? I think about 6 people I talked to today who are non-Muslims. And what I found is when we were talking about purpose or meaning or immediate benefits, they didn't have a clue. They kept on running off. The argument kept on running off towards all the problems that we got. I said, no, I'm talking about a practical solution here and now. And they never had an answer. Yeah. So the thing is, I said, I'll give you some answers. So I was giving some answers, like Islamic answers. They was, that's good, sort of thing. And we never thought about that. Where'd you get that from? And then obviously I go on to the Quran. So, but the immediate benefits, we were actually talking about preserving land. And that's what we were doing. It was Manchester Metropolitan University want to build houses on top of Rybank fields. And if they dig out, they could be asbestos infection, as well as ruining the environment and the greenery there as well. So the immediate local residents are sort of protesting against it. So but the thing is that and then an immediate effect of following Islam would be don't go really upset to the meeting. Because this is what's been happening. The protesters have been meeting the government officials and being really upset. Yeah, if you talk kindly and nicely and calmly to them, then it would have an effect back. And plus, don't think in your mind, oh, nothing's going to come out of this. The immediate effect is that if you trust in your Lord, something will come out of it. I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He benefits non-Muslims as well. Benefits non-Muslims as well. Sometimes, here's a question, sometimes I feel that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala holds back giving to Muslims, yet gives to non-Muslims quicker.
There's a hadith on that as well, isn't it?
Dunya sijnul mu'mini wa jannatul kafir.
Yeah, in fact, there's a hadith, Mullah Naqi Khan, Imam Ahmad Reza Khan's father, in his book regarding supplications and du'as, describes that, I don't remember the reference, but I know the book and I know the writer, that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam described when a kafir makes a dua, Allah tells the angels to give it him straight away.
Yes.
So he doesn't come back asking for more.
Yeah.
Give him straight away, out of the way, gone, finished. But Allah Rabbul Alameen likes the fact that a mu'min comes back to him, turns back to him asking for more. That hope element, that string that's attaching him to his Lord, that he's testing with each dua he makes, that's what's strengthening his faith. And that's what Allah Rabbul Alameen is really wanting to see. It will cause him any loss. In fact, the hadith from Bukhari mentions that if the entire human race was to ask for whatever they want from Allah, and Allah was to give everyone for what they asked, it would not make the difference that one drop would make to the ocean. in His mercy and His treasures.
From His treasures, yeah.
Yeah. But when a kafir asks, give him straight away. Let him go. So he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
So that's probably what we see now.
Yeah.
I mean, considerably speaking, comparing the Muslim countries right now to the Western countries, they have it here. But like Hafiz was saying, that ad-dunya sijnul mu'min.
Yeah.
Wa jannatul kafir.
Yeah, so there you go. Non-Muslims follow Islam, you get immediate
Follow
benefits.
Islam.
You don't believe, but there you go.
That's not getting immediate benefit, is it? If you're saying to get an immediate benefit, and that's not getting immediate benefit.
Why? Because God gives, right?
Yeah. If they're getting straight away, but the Muslims have to wait for it, then that's not immediate benefit, is it?
For Muslims.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So for Muslims, the immediate benefit would be the like we were talking about the structure of the universe today, actually. But we're focused especially on being an environmentalists. Yeah. So on that, one of the immediate benefits is in Islam, preservation of land is important, of culture, natural surroundings that we have. Yeah. So not destroying sort of plants and all this. So if that's the case, one of the immediate benefits
that's actually taught in the Sunnah as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even if day judgment
even
comes and
for
you're
example,
planting a tree, plant it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And in fact, even the preservation of plants in Mecca, because
Yes.
within the haram,
It's haram.
it's
You can't
haram.
uproot anything. It's
Yeah.
haram.
Can't uproot anything. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's being an environmentalist, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's being taught right at the core in the center of Islam.
Yeah, and when I was speaking to the environmentalists today, some of them had degrees in it and all this kind of thing. And
Okay.
I said this, and they were well impressed that, Islam. In fact, one of them said that he heard a Sufi say that he had I think a stick with some feathers on the end, and he would, wherever he walked, he would sort of clean the path. And somebody asked him why. This is a non-Muslim telling me. He said, because I don't want to step on any ants there or anything like that. Yeah. So he's careful with even little creatures. Yeah. So they were well impressed by this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Surah An-Naml, yeah, absolutely.
In fact, I remember, when I had a habit from we used to walk from my primary school, going past hedges, and if you pull hedges from the bottom upwards, uproot them, the leaves come together, and they form a shape of a flower. Try it.
Okay.
So you got a hedge, with a stem. So if you grab the leaves from the bottom, so like you got some here, you're supposed to pull these, uproot all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It will make a flower. So I had a habit of doing that. It would look nice.
Yeah.
One time, try it.
Okay, but I don't know whether my wife will be impressed, but carry on.
But
Yeah.
okay, I remember I had a habit. Even when we go towards a masjid, you've got those hedges out of those.
Yes.
Yeah. I just keep pulling those out. Looks nice. Then you throw those leaves away.
Yeah.
But that's one stem that's become dead. All those leaves have become dead.
Yeah.
And I remember once Abuji I was walking with him, and I did the same. And I like, well, you just killed it, haven't you? And what have you done? You've thrown all the leaves on the floor, when they were more benefiting when they were on the stem. After that, I've never done it.
MashaAllah. A heartbreaking poetry I read when I was younger was about somebody who stepped on a rose and squashed it on the pavement. And we felt it. In other words, the poem was like that strong feeling that you look at a beautiful rose and somebody so splattered it on the pavement. How does it look? The one of the non-Muslims I was speaking to today, when he asked me about Islam and like its immediate benefits, and I told him a few things, he said, well, if that's Islam, then I'm a Muslim. Yeah, and he was so happy with some of the stuff that it's just that we don't tell people, we don't even tell Muslims. We don't even tell Muslims. Yeah, this is why we're doing the podcast. And he said, if that's the case, you know what? I don't need, because he thought I was now going to give him evidence on the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, you know what? Why would I need evidence? I mean, I'm a Muslim, but I've never heard this before. And this is a non-Muslim saying. He said, why would I need evidence for the existence of God? Yeah. Why shouldn't I believe in him without evidence? Because if I'm seeking evidence, I'm judging God. I never thought about it that far.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, judging God. Yeah, who am I to judge God? He judges me. I don't judge him. And that's just because we were talking about the environment and, you know, how it's been destroyed and how humans, if we looked after the environment and how important it is, and the animals, and, you know, cutting down trees and stuff like that, using less toilet roll, because obviously that, you know. So the thing is that these are like immediate benefits that you would get. One other thing which I'll put to the panel, this question, you know, a part of immediate benefits, aren't they material benefits as well? Yeah, because as soon as a person thinks immediate benefit, you think material, car, house, clothes, gadgets, you know, some products. Yeah. Now the question is, I know what Rahat said earlier, but the question is, are there any immediate benefits, material benefits in when you follow the deen?
There's numerous. You know, you mentioned environmentalism.
Yeah.
If we were to judge Islam by all of these modern philosophies, Islam has the solution. So if environmentalism is your concern, following Islam will improve the environment, as you've demonstrated. If you come from the aspect of psychology, you know, the psychologists, they say to reduce your stress every day, you should meditate. Islam encourages salah, meditation. They're encouraging yoga, the stretching of certain muscles to reduce stress in the body. We have ruku and sujood, alhamdulillah.
Absolutely.
So by whatever, if you're a capitalist even, you want money in this world, Islam teaches you how to have a valid transaction that you can profit from. And at the same time, not to become, you know, become rich, but benefit the poor as well.
And not
so
make a loss.
Increasing economies. Islam encourages economies.
So
from all those aspects, you can. And Allah says in the Quran, "Man kana yuridu harth ad-dunya, nutihi minha." Whoever wants this world, I'll give it him.
Subhan.
وَمَنْ كَانَ يُرِيدُ حَرْثَ الْآخِرَةِ نُؤْتِهِ مِنْهَا وَمَا لَهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنْ نَصِيبٍ. But the one who wants the akhirah, we'll give him that. The one who wants this world, I mean, we'll give him that, but we won't give him anything the akhirah. Every day we make dua, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً. You know, so you're allowed to have worldly benefits. There's a story we mentioned about dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannatul kafir of Ibn Hajar. Amir al-Mu'minin fil Hadith, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. And he was a man who was very handsome, top clothes, tailored clothes, Qadi of Egypt, you can imagine, under big dynasties, and he's walking the streets in his grandeur and his majesty. You can imagine him. And there was a kafir, poor man, beggar in the streets, who was aware of deen, and he flagged him down and he said, "Oh Ibn Hajar, didn't your prophet say that this world is a prison for the believer and a Jannah for the non-believer? So what is this prison that you're living in with all this lavish life, and what Jannah am I living in begging in the streets?" So Ibn Hajar, he digests what the man says, and he comes back with him like this. He says, "In comparison to what Allah has prepared for me, I'm living in a prison.
Absolutely.
And in comparison what Allah has prepared for the likes of you, yani the non-Muslim, you're living in a heaven."
Subhanallah.
The man did tawbah, he became one of his students.
Wow, subhanallah.
So
I think, you know, after that, you know, like the benefits, because, you know, when you think about the benefits of the akhirah and then you compare it to the benefits, the immediate benefits that you get in this world, you think, well, you know, do I really want benefits in this world? So if you want, we can end the podcast earlier. No, it's okay. but that's a good conclusion. That's a brilliant conclusion. You should have said that at the end.
You can. إن الله جميل يحب الجمال. الله رفيق يحب الرفق. إذا أوسع الله عليكم فأوسعوا على أنفسكم. These are very famous sayings. If Allah likes beauty, He likes you to have that good life. There's no problem with it. You know, Sufism isn't that you wear rags.
Yes.
Isn't it? That's not what Sufism is. So even being a Zahid doesn't mean that you divorce yourself from enjoying life or having a comfortable life, not enjoying it. It's about keeping the priority. I want a good life, but the akhirah is there.
But today the other thing we were talking about was hygiene, like the immediate benefits of hygiene and health. And I was actually I said when we were taught by our teachers about istanja, when we were young, obviously our parents taught us, then we got the books out and we were little and they taught about istanja, and I said we all used to go together, well, not in the same cubicle, but we all used to go together to perform istanja and come out, and our teachers would check that, you know, we've done. I know it sounds a bit weird, but meaning that, you know, that
how an investigation after this.
Absolutely. how did you feel after doing istanja? You know, like the spiritual benefit. I mean, this may sound a bit weird. I know many people don't talk about it, but there is a spiritual benefit of istanja. Just like there's a spiritual benefit of wudu, just like there's a spiritual benefit of having a bath or a shower.
Yep.
Similarly, with istanja, you feel good. You know, you feel clean, you feel happy in your mind while you washed what is below. I
Do you
mean,
know, that links to what Rahat said, believe it or not. What he mentioned was actually the maqasid of the Sharia, the objectives, the high objectives of Sharia. And in the maqasid of Sharia is recognizing that there is a hukum, but the hukum came from the Hakim.
yes.
And when the Hakim gives a hukum, there's a hikmah.
There's hikmah,
And
mashallah.
everything.
أليس الله
MashaAllah.
بيحكم
Rah's
الحاكمين؟
smiling.
بلا بلا يا رب أليس الله بيحكم الحاكمين.
I've got a
in fact, you
question.
know, just the talking about the immediate benefits. Surah Mulk. ألا يعلم من خلق
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
وهو اللطيف.
وهو اللطيف
الله.
الخبير.
Allah.
Does Allah not know why He created what He created? ألا يعلم من خلق. Does He not know what He's created? And if He has created everything, and for this creation He has given a deen, a religion, a purpose, then ألا يعلم من خلق. Is He not aware?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then just now. In fact, you go 2 ayahs before that as well. There's a build up in this ayah. إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير وأسروا قولكم أو اجهروا به إنه عليم بذات الصدور ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير. So in this order, if you consider it, Allah says, look, those that fear Allah, يخشون ربهم بالغيب, in the absence of people, in closure, لهم مغفرة, for them there is forgiveness, وأجر كبير, and huge rewards. وَأَسِرُّوا قَوْلَكُمْ أَوْ اجْهَرُوا بِهِ. Whether you hide your a'mal or whether you make them apparent. إِنَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. He knows of even the thoughts that spring up in your heart.
Yes.
And then Allah says, أَلَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ خَلَقَ. Do you really think Allah doesn't know what He's created? إِنَّهُ هُوَ اللَّطِيفُ الْخَبِيرُ. Yeah. So
Surah Yasin. بلى وهو الخلاق العليم.
وهو الخلاق
وهو
العليم.
بكل خلق عليم. He's
Yeah.
the most aware of His creation. He knows what we want. So.
Yeah.
Subhanallah.
So in terms of immediate benefits, when we say we don't, immediate benefits doesn't always have to be materialistic. Like you just hinting on the fact that there's the spiritual essence of every amal we do in Islam.
Yeah.
Right from istinja, from Kitab al-Tahara, all the way up to Kitab al-Fara'id in the books of fiqh.
Yeah.
There's a reason why everything is put in place. There's the spiritual benefits, of course. Obviously, I mentioned if somebody is a capitalist, he wants to make money. Islam wants you to make money. Islam wants us to become millionaires, to have financial power. Right now, the Western world understands financial power. If Muslims could have that financial power, we would be a force not to be reckoned with.
Look at the time of Khalifa Abdul Aziz. I mean, that was immediate benefits
Yeah,
all around for the whole empire.
But Islam not only teaches you to become capitalist, to become wealthy, but it teaches you ethical financing.
Yes.
How to become ethical in your transactions. And when your transactions are ethically viable, it gives you peace of the mind that you're not taking away anybody's haqq. Because when the easy way to make money is to I rip him off. And I make the money, I become rich. Islam wants you to become rich, but without ripping him off.
Yeah.
Without cutting him down. You support one another financially, and you grow as a community.
As a community.
Yeah.
Even
So
when
that's
you
what
become
Islam is.
rich,
Yeah.
and you become rich, still you must give zakah to the poor. So
Absolutely.
you're not allowed to become richer except that the poor become richer.
There you go. So that they benefit as well.
Of course.
And today we were talking with the non-Muslims. It was like, why the discussion was, why do rich people want to be happy and don't want other people to be rich and happy? I mean, it won't make a difference to their happiness, but they just don't want other people to be happy. So look at that sort of grudge that we hold in our minds. That was one thing. And the other thing was, I was speaking to somebody last night who had a problem, and I said to them, if you focus only in obtaining Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we know what that means.
Yep.
Yeah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only focusing on benefiting you. Yeah, that's what Allah wants. Allah wants to make you happy, successful. That's what Allah wants.
It's a win-win relationship.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. Like
we
there's the
forget.
immediate benefits that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does want to give you something, but are you ready to have it? Yeah,
Yeah.
are you ready? If you're imagine, there's an 18-year-old kid, no, 22-year-old kid. He lives in Greater Manchester area, well off, and he got a Ferrari. And
Okay.
I'm not sure whether you guys know, but on Eid night, he brought out the Ferrari. He was zooming around everywhere, yeah, and he had a accident and he died in Birmingham. So the thing is, was he ready for the Ferrari? The point is, are you really ready? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enriches you, are you going to be happy? Like I was talking about, we deal with suicide cases, and the worst suicide note I think I've ever read was from a man who said, I have everything that I ever want in my life, so there's nothing else to live for, and he killed himself. Yeah. Think about immediate
Because
benefits.
you lose your purpose of life, don't you?
Yeah, that's it.
And
He's
one
got
of the
everything.
immediate benefits of Islam is that it gives you a purpose for living.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
gives you something worth living for.
Yeah.
And if you go to the old homes and you see a majority of the elders comparing Muslims to the non-Muslims,
Oh, yeah.
the non-Muslims have given up.
Yeah.
There's nothing to live for right now.
Yeah.
In fact, they're inviting death. They probably pray for the angel of death to come around and finish things off, but it's not happening. Whereas for a Muslim, the hope is still there.
Yeah. And there's another thing, for Muslims who pray Salah, when you're old, think about all the old people. There's a certain type of nur on their faces. There's something there. It's like that build up of their ibadah to when they're old. There's something there. I met a really grotty old lady recently, but she was saying all sorts of stuff, but I was looking at her, I was thinking, she's got nur on her face, she was upset about something. So immediate benefits, like even when you're old, we're not just talking about young people like Rahat, we're talking about like elderly people as well.
We forget that the immediate benefit lies within adhering to Islam. Surah Munafiqun. لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله وعن الصلاة فهل أنتم منتهون؟
ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون.
لا تلهكم أموالكم. Don't let your wealth and your children distract you from the remembrance of Allah.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
فأولئك هم الخاسرون.
And whoever does so, فأولئك هم الخاسرون, he's the biggest loser.
Yeah.
Now, when we think success or gain or benefits has to be materialistic, has to be on demand, that's the mistake, and that's what shaitan wants us to think.
Don't let the world deceive you. Worldly benefits.
Yes.
Like the hadith says, you live on earth, but don't let it live in you.
Allah.
Yeah. So the boat sails on water, but you don't allow the water to fall inside the ship.
Otherwise, it'll all sink.
You will all sink.
That's
the
what
heart,
the man who committed
the
suicide.
mind, the mind, body, soul, they will all sink.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening. إنما يريد الشيطان أن يوقع بينكم العداوة والبغضاء في الخمر والميسر ويصدكم عن ذكر الله وعن الصلاة فهل أنتم منتهون. Quran is constantly reminding us throughout the Quran, right from the first just towards the end, that constant reminder, the ultimate success. Another time, right now, the biggest problem we have are mental issues, mental health issues.
Yeah.
Quran constantly throughout the Quran is describing, if you want peace of the mind, peace of the soul, it's with the dhikr of Allah.
Yeah, Islam means peace.
Islam means.
Check this. If we go back to analyzing the Quran in light of modern understanding.
Yeah.
Modern understanding is liberalism.
Huh?
I want to do whatever I want that benefits me, individualism, utilitarianism, all these things are what the world runs on. So what's stopping us from doing everything we want as human beings? Everybody would agree that we don't want good things. If we just do what we want, then things like the Holocaust, at that time people seen as acceptable. Later on we realized it isn't. There was actually a Sufi Sheikh who once said to his murid, I can do whatever I want in this world, alhamdulillah.
The Sheikh said.
Yeah. Whatever I want I can do it. This is Sheikh, how? An-nafsul ammara bis-su', the nafs wants to do bad things.
Yeah.
How can you do everything? He goes, no, everything I can do it.
Okay.
He's achieved the ultimate liberalism. Whatever he wants, he can do it. They said, Kaif, how? He quoted a hadith. And the hadith is a very rare hadith, but it comes in the 40 hadith from Nawawi.
Swan.
لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يكون هواه تبعا لما جئت به. He said, none of you truly believe, yani your iman isn't complete until your desires are in line with what I brought, yani Islam. The Shaykh expanded, he said, everything I want is halal, is good. and everything I don't want is haram. So I'm able to do everything I want. I can achieve everything I want because what he did was he aligned himself with what Islam wants.
Absolutely.
And if you ask the Western world, is this Islam ask anything bad? They say,
Yeah.
no, it wants
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So by aligning yourself with the deen of Allah, you're meeting that very liberalism that you're searching for.
Absolutely.
you can do whatever
That's
you
like
want.
maximum liberalism,
Like
isn't it?
we
If you
enjoy
think
what we
about
do.
it. Yeah.
That's a ni'mah of Allah, isn't it? As
Yeah.
imam, as teachers, that's a
Yeah.
ni'mah of Allah. We are actually happy people.
Yeah.
As'adun nas man as'adan nas.
Yeah.
The happiest people are those who help other people as well as themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Alhamdulillah.
bad, nobody wants harmful effects
Exactly.
from anywhere. And Islam, when it tells you that this is haram, it means that it's bad for you. It's bad for your health, it's bad for your family, it's bad for your society. That's what it's trying to do. Yeah, so the immediate effects of following Islam is that
Another aspect that's
you are
coming to
benefiting.
mind.
Yeah.
You know the Hadith Jibreel,
Allah.
Iman, Islam, and Ihsan.
So,
Yeah.
That is the immediate benefit of religion. Islam gives you the outward peace.
Yeah.
Iman will give you the inward peace, and Ihsan will give you that mental satisfaction. Everything's in line. Those three aspects are what everyone is really asking for, isn't there?
Yeah.
Islam outwardly will give you peace, like Habisa was saying, that being liberalist, that's what Islam wants. Everyone to become liberal, but through certain criteria which are not limited to any land, any language, or any tradition. It's universal for everyone.
Yeah. You don't have to be Muslim to follow Islam.
Yeah. And Iman is what gives you that, gives you the Akhirah,
Mm-hmm.
and Ihsan will give you both together. It's like the bridge between Iman and Islam. Bridging them two together, Ihsan, that's whether I'm able to understand, to describe it well enough. But it's making sense in my mind, at least right now. Yeah? That all of it together is ultimately the immediate benefit what everyone wants. Where you have outward peace, you have mental peace, mental health, and spiritual peace as well. And that's exactly what Islam has to offer. But you have to give it a go. You have to give it a try. A lot of people want it on a plate, where you could just demand for it online, and it's like a microchip they want put in.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. I've got something
It's
for
worked
Rahat.
that way.
What would you say on this point there? You know, like for youngsters.
Yeah, I say especially nowadays, it's all about feeling good, positive energy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Spiritually woke. Have you seen that one now? It's trending now. People are spiritually woke.
Spiritually woke.
It's all about feeling high and
it's
feeling
all
nice.
about,
It's all about
so
exactly.
it's all about being on the
It's trending. Check
they
the
say-
social medias.
Is it?
Spiritually
Well,
woke.
some-
being
so-
spiritual, but they're always being on a high, feeling good.
On a high.
Yeah.
No, you don't want any negative vibes. Yeah, but Islam already teaches
vibes.
that.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Positive
No.
vibes.
Because so I met
I
somebody.
think I see where it's coming from.
I met somebody in the park today. He had his bike and he had his music center on the bike, and he said to me, I'm walking, and I said, what else are you doing? He said, I'm walking. What else? I'm walking. I said, like, explain. He goes, I just go with the feeling. Yeah, I go with the heart. I don't use the brain. Sometimes my heart feels like I'll turn the music off and all this. And I said, can I show you something? He goes, yeah. So I took him to a massive green field. Yeah. He goes, oh, this is so nice. I've never been to this area before. Yeah.
Okay.
And I so now basically I'm in control of his heart. So yeah. So he thought he was in control of his heart. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Okay.
So now when he was talking, he goes, I want to give you something as well. I said, what? He said, medicine for happiness. Oh, I said, oh, great. That's exactly what I want. And he goes, some people call it drugs. Yeah, but in other words, why? I mean, are you talking about ecstasy and
Was it green?
marijuana and all that cocaine? Eh?
Was it green?
I didn't look at it, but he
But
did have some.
Rahat touched on something quite
Yeah.
beautiful there. The fact that it's all about the positivity, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the association of a negative vibe is straight away. Tell me if I'm wrong. They link it towards depression.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's where it goes down.
But Islam teaches that you will have highs and lows.
Yeah.
Life was never meant to be stable. Life was never meant to be so straight that you never have any problems.
One famous English poet said, "The best moments of life are the melancholy ones." In other words, when you're feeling a bit sad, and you know when we're not depressed, but when you're you're feeling
low, yeah.
a bit. No, I don't even like the word low. I think sad is a romantic word. So if you're feeling sad,
You're a romantic guy.
yeah.
That's why.
No, I used to read a lot of poetry, and when I went out today, I met like these hippies who were drawing art and writing poetry, and they tell me poetry, and our poetry, Islamic poetry, is just amazing. I mean, seriously, it just takes you away, and like Mawlana Jalaluddin Rumi, etc. And the beauty of it, the whole beauty of this was, they were saying they had tents up, so they were saying that we're living free, yeah. And my point was, you're free in tents on a green patch of land, but I'm free whether I'm in my home or whether I'm in my office. And that's what you're talking about, the vibes and being spiritually high.
I also want to add that, you said about immediate benefits. I think, when people come to depression, the difference between Islam and people who are not Muslim is that people who are not Muslim, they don't, because it's so sudden to them, they don't know how to deal with it. So, a lot of them seek means by drinking or drugs, like you said.
Drugs and all that,
Whereas Islam, we've got many other forms, even just from the Dua Rabbana wa la tuhammil, do not burden us with something that we can't carry. How would anyone who's not a Muslim think of such a prayer where they would be burdened by something that they can't carry? Therefore, they feel like, I'm not meant for this life doesn't like me. But Islam teaches us, no, do not despair. Again, would a non-Muslim ever think that? No, because they don't believe in God. So it's always, like you said, like Ustaz said, it always gives you that sense of hope, that sense of coming back. Ustad gave an example of, from the word Tawbah, what it refers to Tawbah is to turn halfway and then turn back. That's where from Tawbah comes from. But for a non-Muslim is that they don't turn back, they go to the end where they can't physically take it anymore. And that's why a lot of suicides happen.
Depression, you mentioned depression. The Quran gives us the cause of depression. And from the cause of depression, you can find the remedy, the solution. وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكَ. That person who is neglectful of my remembrance, then surely for him is a depressing life. وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمًا. Not only this life,
as well.
You're raised blind in the day of judgment. قَالَ رَبِّ لِمَا حَشَرْتَنِي أَعْمَى وَقَدْ كُنْتُ بَصِيرًا. You're going to ask Allah, why have you raised me blind? I used to be, I had sight. قال كذلك أتتك آياتنا فنسيتها.
كذلك اليوم تنسى.
You forgot my signs, so today you'll be forgotten.
I gotta say this. Saying Quranic ayahs like we're doing, and explaining the meaning of them. This shows something that's been happening in the last week. This shows that the Quran has an immediate effect on you. In the last week, there's
no doubt in that.
There's no doubt on that. Yeah, of course. Alhamdulillah, the Hafiz of the Quran. But the thing is, last week something sad happened where people saying, we go to speeches and we understand where they're coming from. We go to speeches and they talk about stuff which is like more philosophy from the Quran, and it doesn't give us any immediate benefit. But look what we're doing today. We're showing the people that look, and plus here's the other magnificent effect of it. When you say the Quran in context and then explain the meaning, then it has an effect on you. It affects you personally.
In the Hifz class, I always give an example to the Hifz class.
Okay.
To show them how if you become a good Hafiz, you get everything you want. I say, have you heard of Triple H? They'd be like, what, the wrestler? I said, no, the homeless Hafiz. They were like, what homeless Hafiz? We've never heard of the homeless Hafiz. I said, exactly. Allah looks after his people, innit?
Yeah.
You want to keep good, stay healthy in this world, have a good financial life, then come to the deen. It gives you that. That shouldn't be your objective, but surely you will get that.
Yeah. But one of the reasons why I don't have an argument with Hafiz is because I knew a Hafiz from a very poor family in a very poor village, and he became the Hafiz. And whenever I meet him, he's in England now. Whenever I meet him now, he's just so intelligent. The way he speaks, he's articulate, and in his ibadat as well, and all this. And he's just so sweet. You don't actually want to argue with him, but it's the effect.
Wallahi, it opens the brain. Allah said, Kitab al-Mubin.
Subhanallah.
Now, Mubin can be sifa mushabbaha. It can be ism al-fa'il. It can be a description of the Quran, or it can mean the Quran is actively enlightening. That it's not just a source of light, it's not munawwar, but rather the Quran is munawwir.
Subhanallah.
It opens things as well.
It
for you.
opens-
وكذلك أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون.
Mashallah.
So you may become intelligent people. Quran describes that we sent it in Arabic
Intelligence.
language so you become intelligent.
Yeah.
And intelligent not doesn't mean just to become sharp.
Yeah.
But it also means to be able to suss out right from wrong.
Yeah.
Haq
Understanding.
from batil.
Yeah.
Iman from not having iman. And being able to know what right is and what wrong is. Picking on the last thing that Rahad was mentioning, Islam gives you solutions. Whereas kufr helps you to dodge solutions. And the people go on drugs or alcohol and stuff is when a negative vibe is coming, they try to dodge it by taking drugs and try to pass that time. Those few hours, let them go by in that intoxication, wake up and then think, okay, next day, new job, get on with life. Islam doesn't want you to dodge those situations. It wants you to face them head on, find a solution. And Islam gives those solutions if you have either you approach the right people that can give you that hand and take you away, take you across to the other side in the right manner, or if you're strong enough on your own, like Hafiz Saab is saying, you dig into the Quran.
Yeah.
Dig into it. And the power of the Quran is every time you read it, there's a different vibe.
It gives.
Yeah.
It gives. And based on your emotional state, Quran will sound different.
Subhanallah.
The same page you could read every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Subhanallah. Yeah.
The same page. Don't move
Yeah.
on. Just try
Yeah.
one page
Yeah.
for the viewers at least.
Yeah.
Try the same page for the next 10 days.
Yeah.
Just one page, the same one. Read it with translation, and at different times of the day, to spice it further.
Yeah.
Every time around,
Yeah.
it will sound different. There's a new message. You'll dig deeper, and you'll see the depth that the Quran holds within itself. That's only
Mashallah.
one page.
Mashallah. You know,
Quran al-Kareem.
yeah, Quran
It
al-Kareem, absolutely. You know, the
everything
Farz, talk about the Farz, the Salah. Imam Ghazali rahmatullah says, every time you read the Fatiha, you get something new.
Yeah.
Every time you read the Fatiha, and it is Farz Salah for us. So try that. And you know, people who are uneducated, I ask them as well. I say, every time you read the Fatiha, what happens is there's something else, something different happens. And it's just amazing, like you think
وَلَقَدْ
maybe...
صَرَّفْنَا لِلنَّاسِ فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ.
Subhanallah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
You dig
explain
into it.
that.
I'm telling you, it opens up.
Translate that.
It opens up. وَلَقَدْ صَرَّفْنَا لِلنَّاسِ. And it's for the people to dig into it.
Dig in. Yeah.
The more you dig into the Quran, the more you realize, like, you know, like this mental health and all these are modern
Yeah.
sciences.
Yeah.
Quran, now, modern understanding is that Quran has already answered everything.
Yeah.
And we're only starting to discuss mental health in the last few years.
Yeah.
Quran's mentioned everything
ما
1400 years ago.
فرطنا في الكتاب من شيء. We didn't leave anything out from this book.
Subhanallah.
Yes.
All there for you.
Subhanallah.
Just need to go.
Just need to go and find it. In fact, one scholar was saying our pious
So
predecessors.
this is all, for example, the immediate benefit of Islam.
Yeah.
Yeah? I don't want people to be distracted with all of this. Ultimately, the point we're giving here coming across is the Quran.
Is that you can get it right now. In other
Yeah.
words, that's why I'm saying you get it right. So you go.
It's the rope of Allah, isn't it?
Yeah.
You narrated us a few weeks ago the hadith that Allah raises people by this book.
Yeah.
And he
debases.
humiliates people by this
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا
Yeah.
وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. He guides by this book, he misguides by this book.
Yeah.
He's got that power.
So if you have, if
all
you
there,
want
it's
immediate
all there.
effect now, then
Right, immediate.
reach out to your shelf wherever you put the Quran and take it out and start reading it.
And try this 10-day trial.
Why not? Inshallah.
Yeah, 10-day trial of reading the same page of the translated Quran for 10 days and then
The
come back to us.
evidence is there. Did they ever get bored of Fatiha? Why?
Absolutely.
You can never get bored. Anything else in the world, I challenge you, even hadith.
Subhanallah. Yeah.
Read it that many times a day. There will be a point where your nafs will say, "Do you know what? It's a bit.
Yeah.
You've done it too many
But
times."
Fatiha has that
Fatiha.
that opening.
Just count in your life, mashallah, the grey hairs. How many times you read Fatiha?
Subhanallah.
How many times?
You know, I gotta say something here.
Oh.
It all depends on amal. It all depends on amal. It's good for us to say, go and reach out towards the Quran and take it, but please do physically do it.
You want amal that's not wasted. And
Amal
this
that-
links to what Ustadi said. Ihsan.
Yeah.
Inna Allah la yudi'u
Yeah.
ajr al-muhsinin. Allah doesn't
Subhanallah.
waste the ajr
Ever.
of the muhsinin.
Yeah.
You get what you
Okay,
give.
I'm going to tell you something now then.
Go
Okay. We always say stuff on this program, a little controversial, but I met a drug dealer and he was very intelligent and people liked him. They actually loved him and he was a drug dealer.
All
Yeah,
right.
he was a known gangster.
You need intelligence for crime. It's a
You
fact.
need to tell
You
you.
need intelligence.
He was exceptional. This drug dealer was liked and he was very intelligent, and he'll get away with everything. And then I asked him about it, and he quietly said to me on the side, I'm a Hafiz of Quran. Okay, so you have to do amal. There you go, Hafiz of him.
I've met some. I'm not going to say too much, but I've met some of those exact descriptions.
Just about
Druggy Hafiz.
I just want to add quickly about about the immediate effects.
But he could be
Was
drugged.
that Hadiyan is under payment? I don't know.
No, he was drugged with the remembrance of Allah.
Allah.
That's what he's drugged with. We talk about that drug, by the way.
No, I have to say the end bit. I must say the end bit. The end bit, alhamdulillah, he's left the drugs now. He's praying again, and he's revising the Quran again, any bits that he's missed. And alhamdulillah, he's on the right path now. But when I met him back then, I was just amazed at how he was loved by the other gangsters. You know?
It's like you said, Amal, Allah promises us with ta'keed. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. The one who strives towards us, surely we will guide him.
He has to make an effort. لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ. We will definitely show him the way. But jahadu, you have to make an effort. A lot of people, they want to sit back, and like I said, like that microchip, put it in, and that's it. Everything happens. It doesn't work that way. You have to come to reality.
لا ينال العلم براحة الجسد. You can't even get knowledge with rest. You have to make some physical.
You have to. Rahat, you were going to say something.
From one of the immediate effects, you said, for the person of Islam, a person like Ustaz said, who worships with ihsan, they knowing that they're constantly chasing the dunya, and this is an immediate effect of them to keep going forward. They never get bored. They shouldn't get bored. If they were doing it with ihsan, they think, okay, I'm going to move on to the next level. I've done this, move on to the next level, etc. But the person who doesn't worship with ihsan, or who doesn't, he's not praying, they're thinking, I've got this, now they're stranded, what do I do next? How can I attain? What rope do I have to hold that, the sense of what hope I have in the hereafter, or for what's to come? As a person who does worship, who does the ibadah with ihsan, they've all got something to cling on to. I can move on, and this is why they say busy yourself with the obedience of Allah, and this is how you do it. Not only having ihsan, but you constantly having the remembrance, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ تَزَكَّى. Surah at the end of it vigorously states who the successful are, why. Exactly. And Allah tells you, what you prefer the worldly life. Allah tells you no. So the ayah after says that no, but surely the hereafter is much more, enjoying and long lasting, because again it relates to temporary happiness, and that's what we're always chasing, temporary happiness. But we expect, we're chasing longevity within our happiness in this dunya, but Allah tells you it's not that. Abqa is for the hereafter.
قُلْ مَتَاعُ الدُّنْيَا قَلِيلٌ
وَالْآخِرَةُ
خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى. Whatever the saman, whatever wealth, and anything that you can gain, financial status, social status, whatever, qalil, Allah says. It's so minute, it's nothing.
Actually, all this success and all this happiness.
The hereafter is better. And it's everlasting.
If only you knew.
If only you knew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Funny enough, tazakka as well. Ustad was mentioning zakah before. What's tazakka? What's tazakka? Islam defines tazakka, purification. What is it to purify? Well, what is it to worship Allah? What is it to do wudu properly? Or to do acts heedfully and not just mindlessly? So, it says when you're eating, be mindful. When you're doing specific acts, be mindful. When you're salah, be mindful. Why does it mean be mindful?
فَأَحْسِنُوا الْقِتْلَ. إِذَا ذَبَحْتُمْ. Even in your zabha, even in your qatla, everything there is ihsan in it. Everything has an opportunity for ihsan.
Just give you the example of eating mindlessly. Is that I was watching something and I was reading something alongside it, is that when you're eating mindlessly, is that your brain doesn't process the digestive system doesn't pick up straight away. So this is what causes brain fog, and brain fog, you feel lazy, you feel like you don't want to do anything, feel demotivated. And if the whole essence is to be feeling good and to
positivity,
and to be spiritually uplifted, be mindful. Just unrelated facts always relate to related facts, and these relate to us of our productivity. Why is it that 300 and even people who they say who lived the Stone Age, why is it that they're always at the peak of their abilities? Why is it that the people who are, like you said, the rich, why are they always depressed? Why? Because the difference is that the living, the standard of living and the way of life that the the people of the Stone Age do compared to the people who are rich and who are the best, completely different. But what is it that they're getting? They're getting that happiness and that longevity within themselves, not only as an immediate effect, but with Islam they're getting it in the long run. But a person who's a millionaire who keeps chasing, who's never fulfilled, he's never he's always chasing and he's just going on a downward slope.
Now this hot weather has come out. I know a guy who goes out doing mujahida for women. So what he does is he goes after one woman, he's not too happy, and then he goes for the other woman and he doesn't feel that happy, and then he goes for a third woman. Then I said to him, why are you chasing women all the time? Because I go to visit our local parks and dawah and stuff, and he's there doing dawah to women in his way. So the thing is, he doesn't stop, and he's never happy.
He's actually making a dawah.
Yeah, and he comes back home depressed. Yeah, and Rahat was saying there, you're becoming successful. What does that mean? It means having loads of money. That's what people think. But then you're still not happy. Money, women, whatever else that you've got material. So the thing is that the mujahida that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us about is the one that gives you rahat, sukoon, gives you happiness, gives you tranquility immediately. And here's the point. One day I said to him, read Isha. All day you're busy. Chasing women is a very hard job, but in the evening, just before you go to bed, just read Isha. He actually went on holiday.
Okay.
And because there's loads of women he can chase. Up here somebody's going to catch him, probably a family friend or somebody, but over there he went, and he came back and he said to me all day I was on the beach, trying to pick up this girl and that girl and all this kind of thing, and I was thinking I was having a good time, but there was something inside which I couldn't get the fulfillment. I couldn't get the complete fulfillment. And then I came back and I remembered, Brother Khalid said, just read Isha before you go to sleep.
Try it once, yeah.
He said, I read Isha. He said the maza, and the word he used was maza. Yeah. He said the maza, the pleasure that I got in reading Isha was better than everything. So guess what he did? The next day he said, this is a bit strange. I'm going to do it again. So all day he chased women on the beach. And then when night time came, he read Isha. Yeah. He said this was still good. And he said he did this for up to 7 days. And when Jummah came, Alhamdulillah, he went and read a Jummah.
Sure.
Yeah. So there you go. Alhamdulillah.
It's turning back to Allah. I mean, if you were to concentrate all of your amal throughout the day towards Allah, you'll have complete satisfaction.
Subhanallah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, full satisfaction.
If we want success, Allah says, وَتُوبُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا أَيُّهَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ.
Yeah.
Turn back to Allah, all of you, أَيُّهَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, all believers, so that you may become successful.
MashaAllah. There, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that satisfaction bit, that is, end of Surah Fajr, in complete satisfaction, the tranquil soul. At the end of the day, like Rahat was saying, I'm glad he said that, all the success that we're going to get here is temporary. Yeah. And then the akal says, the mind says, well, am I going to put in that much effort into getting immediate worldly benefits now? Yeah. So I'm going to work towards something which is going to be destroyed very soon. Why don't I work towards something which will last forever? So for this guy, next time I meet him, I think it'll be on Monday, I'm going to tell him this. I'm going to say to him that, there are hurs in paradise, which will last forever.
The Quran says, مَا عِنْدَكُمْ يَنْفَدْ وَمَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ بَاقٍ. What you have will go.
Yeah.
It will all go.
You'll lose it one way or another.
Is everlasting. Absolutely. And that's the point.
If ultimate pleasure is our goal, then we need to really check ourselves.
Yeah.
Allah says, قُلْ تَمَتَّعُوا فَإِنَّ مَصِيرَكُمْ إِلَى النَّارِ. If you want total enjoyment, then you're heading towards the hellfire.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go down that path.
Yeah.
There has to be effort of juhud in this world.
Has to. Allah says, Surah Mulk, أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا, which one of you is best in terms of amal. And this is why the purpose, this is why the competition is, where we have, as Asad was saying, that talking about unity and good deeds, if we're all doing good deeds and we're all chasing to do good deeds, then are we not all rising together then? Isn't that all positivity, not only positivity around us, but within us? And like you were saying before, is that, it is a nafsi issue about people not wanting to see others become better than them, but Islam like Ustad was saying that we give to the zakah. Why? Because if we go up, then we want the people beneath us to go up as well.
Can we be jealous of people with wealth? Can
Yeah, of course.
You can be
Of
jealous
course.
Islamically of that person
Yeah.
who's wealthy and he gives.
Yeah, he gives.
You get me?
Absolutely.
So
That's
it
the
is
point.
all about the amal. It comes back to the amal.
Yeah.
Ayyukum
You're
ahsanu
concentrating all your amal, all your actions, right from the moment you open your eye till you close it in the evening. If you were able to concentrate, and if you try, as a message, to concentrate all your amal, turn them towards Allah, you'll within a few times of that practice, few days, you'll see the satisfaction you have in your mind, and it doesn't just bring outward peace; it will touch you to the core.
Mm.
And many people have tried and tested this. People that go on a 1-day salah run. Just for one day, I'm going to do all 5 salahs. For majority that try it just for once, you'll see them, they've continued it for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Because that 1-day trial they put themselves on. Like we were saying, do a 10-day Quran trial of translation. Do a 1-day 5 salahs with all the nawafil and all the sunnahs, with a proper, slow wudu. A lot of the time we miss the barakah of salah because we do quick wudu.
Yeah.
A slow wudu, concentrated wudu with a concentrated salah.
Concentrating on Allah in wuzu as well.
In
Yeah.
wudu, in salah,
Yeah.
just try 5 salahs and tell me the peace you have.
Subhanallah.
قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين.
Lillah.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
living
Make it
goes
all for
there,
Allah.
Everything for Allah.
I've got some really good friends, good jokers. They're Mirpuri, and I taught building Koti and Mirpur. The last time I went 10 years ago, something. I was amazed at those magnificent.
I think after that,
bungalows.
BBC made that documentary, didn't they?
It did. Oh yes, BBC made a documentary as well.
Did you send it by any chance?
I didn't send that one. No, did I? I don't know. I don't think so. But the thing is that they're good friends, and I thought that was their parents or grandparents who really wanted that dream. Yeah.
That dream home, yeah.
But now the youngsters are still continuing with it. Even during COVID, like last year, when they went over, they told, we're not working in England. Let's find out, what are you doing in Pakistan? Oh, we're building a koti, another one in Mirpur on the beautiful mountain. Yeah. Now the thing is that obviously, as we're saying, all that effort, it takes time and effort to make money in England. Yeah, it doesn't grow on trees, but basically they put that money towards that koti there, which they're going to go once in a year and then probably repair every time they go as well. But the thing is, in paradise, there's no repair. You don't need a maintenance man. It's there forever for you. Yeah, and the amount of effort that they do. And when I asked them why, and look at the point, when I asked them why are you doing? Well, my cousin did it, and my dad was saying, look, he did it, and we should do it as well. Yeah. Now the thing is that how much more his father would be proud on that day. Now we're talking about immediate. That on that day when that immediate effect in that life will be everlasting, and this immediate effect in this life will be destroyed. Yeah. And on that side, so there is another point. The other point is, if you had millions of pounds, you would give it all away if the doctors were about to chop your leg off and you say, have all my money, save my leg. Yeah. Okay. Now, one of the things I was thinking about immediate effect is, from Salah, if you just looked at Salah and, the exercise that the kind of exercise, ruku and sujood and all that we do, that's one part of it. And the other part of it is being ethical with anything that we do, even like Rahat was saying about food. Yeah. So when you have worship, then you have food, you have the right types of clothes, you have shelter as well. Yeah. All the basic necessities that you need in life. And Islam talks about basic necessities and how to actually use them. And we're all human beings on the planet Earth, and everybody needs basic necessities. But nobody really knows, except Islam, nobody really knows how to use them in the right proportions, in the right way, in order to stay 100% healthy. Yeah. And I'll give you an example of this. I met a non-Muslim who was very healthy. Yeah, regular checkups because he was a director of a company and they really looked after him. Yeah, they didn't even want him to retire either, and he was really healthy guy. Yeah, but guess what he said? He said, I've got everything. I've got bodily health. I'm happy in my mind, etc. But there's one problem. I said, what's that? He said, I feel as if I've got a hole in my heart. And I thought he meant something medical, but he didn't. He meant that there's something there. It's just, I feel there's a hole there. I don't know how else to explain it. Yeah. And I said to him, he said to me, I give charity. I give so much charity. I give so, but there's still this hole in the heart. And I said, well, why don't you pray? Why don't you pray? Yeah. And he actually took that to heart. And then I heard he went on Hajj. Okay. Yeah, but he had what we call a helicopter Hajj because he knew the Saudi princes and they took him, to those big hotels and stuff.
VIP one.
A VIP Hajj. And I said, what's this helicopter Hajj? He goes, I did it, but I didn't feel. I said, no, forget that. Now go like the rest of us go. Yep. Yeah. And he went and he came back and he said, for the first time in my life, I feel, and he used the word satisfied. I feel satisfied. He's got so much, but I feel satisfied. So there was an immediate effect.
That's what mentioned earlier. وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. I mean, the absence of Allah's remembrance is what leaves you to a life of depression.
Absolutely.
Man arda means to turn your face away. You deliberately, now this individual most likely, we're not here to, just generally speaking, let's say then, he was turning away from the dhikr of Allah.
Sorry, uncle, if you're listening to this, I didn't mention
on purpose. This is I'm generally speaking now. Yeah,
generally speaking.
People that intentionally don't turn towards salah or towards Allah.
Yeah.
Intentionally. Every opportunity is there. For example, you go to a wedding, you'll get the set brothers that throughout the wedding they'll pray the Zuhur and Asr and Maghrib and Isha.
Yeah.
But the rest they continue to do whatever they're doing. Yeah,
once I was really proud, I gotta say this, you came to mind. It was the only wedding I ever went to in my life where in the middle of the wedding the bride got up with all the makeup and everything, got up and she said, I gotta go and pray salah. And I was like, wow, I thought, what, I mean, that is something. She just got up, forget like my izzat in front of my news or salah, what the people guys say, it's salah time, I gotta go and pray salah.
Exactly. If you turn your face away from Allah's remembrance on purpose, فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا, then you have a depression, a life full of depression.
Yeah.
So that hole that he had in his heart, that gap that was fulfilled, that fulfillment he had, that was when he filled it with the dhikr of Allah, and now life became complete.
Yeah, and sin equals sadness. Sin equals sadness. Yeah.
Allah talks about it multiple times. It's not that you're going to have a depressing life only. وَمَنْ يَعْرِضْ عَنْ ذِكْرِ رَبِّهِ يَسْلُكْهُ عَذَابًا صَعَدًا. Punishment now seeks you.
Absolutely.
It's going to chase you.
You're not missing out.
Not getting away.
I like that. Punishment now seeks you.
Yeah. So the ayat, there's loads. فَإِنَّهُ يَحْمِلُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وِزْرًا. You will have a burden on the day of judgment. And there's a lot about i'rad al-dhikr.
But look at the immediate thing. There's a brother yesterday. He actually committed a sin. Yeah. And he was really upset. Okay. Yeah. And I was thinking in my mind, I said, last week when I saw him, he's a really happy guy. This week he committed this particular sin and he's really sad. He's depressed. So sin equals sadness, depression, etc. And obviously, inshallah, I mean, today was Jummah. Inshallah, he would have done Tawbah. I'm going to meet him tomorrow. And the thing is that I know, I have full yaqeen. My Lord is so merciful. Yeah, that this brother, he's a nice brother. Something went wrong. Yeah, okay. Inshallah, he'll be back on track. Sure. But it's a big lesson for him. It's a big lesson for us, his friends as well, that look, if you commit sin, you're going to be sad. You're not going to have a good vibe with anybody else as well. You're going to be arguing and you feel rough and all this kind of thing, like Rahul was saying earlier. But one thing that, when and this is an important thing, I think, a really important thing.
Let's make this the last thing as well.
Last thing, for religious people. When you carry on doing good, maybe you need a full podcast on this, but it's just come to mind. When you're doing something good, why do you want to break away from it? It's because you feel as if you're in a comfort zone now. You forgot the hurt that you had in the past from the sin. So now you feel A-okay. And you thought, Chalo, if I did a bit of that Torabot sin, it's not going to make much of a difference. Yeah, maybe I think we need to discuss that once because they think that there's the immediate effect. When you commit a sin, we all Muslims, we're all practicing, there's an immediate sad effect.
I think the next podcast, next week is
Islamophobia. Yeah.
But the one after that could be the immediate effects of practicing Islam.
Wasn't that today?
No.
Oh, it was today.
This was like getting people on track. But now I think this batch that listen to this talk, for example, this podcast,
Yeah.
and are making their mind up. Let's try it for the next few days.
Yeah.
The challenges they face once they start to practice.
Yeah,
Okay,
fantastic. There's
that's
so much
fine.
to talk about. That's a whole subject.
Okay.
That's a really
Brilliant,
difficult
brilliant.
one.
You're smiling, so I know you got something up your sleeve. So yeah, everybody will have to wait 14 days, inshallah.
14 days only. Okay, inshallah. See you in 7 days.
In 7 days, inshallah.
And
Jazakumullah.
Eid Mubarak as well for those this week.
And mashallah, Eid Mubarak to everybody. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the ibadah of those brothers and sisters who, I know it's long hot weather, going to work and fasting for the entire. I've met brothers and sisters who, alhamdulillah, due to encouragement on social media as well,
Yes.
for the first time in their life, they realized that these 10 days, 9 days, and then Eid, how important they are. They always thought Ramzan Sharif, but now they feel that these 10 days compete with Ramzan Sharif, and they're fasting during the daytime and doing ibadah in the night time. May Allah bless them, and
Ameen.
please make dua
Ameen.
for us as well.
Ameen.
Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa
Wa
rahmatullah.
alaikum salam.